Pleased to say I can speak to Durwood Zaelke now, who's a climate specialist who joins me live from Washington, D.C. Welcome to you, Durwood. I report every day, somewhere in the world, floods or wildfires, or usually both. What's your opinion on this? Are these things that have always happened and it's just more of the same, or is it a sign that the climate is getting worse?
Well, they've always happened, but they've happened very infrequently in the past. Today, they're happening, as you just pointed out, virtually every day somewhere in the world. It's too hot. We have a flood. We have wildfires. We have famine. We have dying forest. We have coral reefs that are bleaching and dying. So, this is a different moment. And as you point out in the last clip, we are dangerously close to locking in the 1.5 temperature, beyond which we will face a predicted 5 to 11 irreversible tipping points, which include the die-off of the Amazon forest, the shutdown of the Atlantic current, the loss of the Greenland ice sheet, which will give us many meters of sea level rise. And this will be catastrophic for much of the world. So no, this is a different moment, and we have very little time left before slamming on the brakes, or we will go over the cliff of these tipping points, and we'll have a much harder time returning to a safe climate, because we'll be battling more wildfires, we'll be battering more heat stress, and we'll have less resources to solve climate change. So the time to move is today.
It's interesting you said time to move, because I just returned from a week in the UK. It was overcast, cloudy, pretty grey and miserable all week, but it wasn't hot. And it did make me think, if we continue to see global warming and extreme weather conditions, do you think we'll see people trying to relocate to such countries that aren't too hot and aren't too wet?
Yes, we already see some migration taking place because of sea level rise, for example. And we'll see heat stress push people into cooler climates as well. We already see the plants and the animals beginning to migrate to cooler climates. So they're moving up the mountainside. They're moving in the direction of cool. So yes, you'll see that. Now we'll also see cities begin to adapt. People will buy more air conditioning. Now that's good as a temporary fix, but air conditioning uses more fossil fuels usually to run it, and it has other super climate pollutants as its refrigerant, and that will cause still more warming. And in many cases, it will also stress the grid and cause blackouts. So we have to be careful of what kind of solutions we put in place in the urban areas. You can put shade trees. That's a very good solution, as long as you have the right kind of trees that are able to tolerate heat stress and don't demand a lot of water. You can have reflective roofs that can send a lot of incoming solar radiation safely back to space, and it can cool the roof of a building, and you'll need less air conditioning inside. So what you want to do is have a symphony of solutions, which include all of the above and much, much more, because we need to slam on the brakes of our fossil fuel use. We need to cut methane. That's one of the super climate pollutants. And if we cut it, we get the fastest return on our investment. We can avoid about 0.3 degrees Celsius of warming in the near term just by cutting methane. And we should start with the oil and gas sector, stop the waste of natural gas. Then we should move on to landfills. Take care of the landfills, capture the methane that comes out, use it as a fuel, and then later we need to find solutions that are compatible with the already difficult time farmers have feeding the world. But oil and gas ready to go today, and waste pretty much the same today. So those are great solutions. And then, of course, there are experiments that people are planning on how to cool the world artificially. For example, on the Great Barrier Reef, there are experiments going on shooting sea spray into the atmosphere to develop clouds that are reflective and send heat back to space and protect the Great Barrier Reef. That looks promising. It's a small scale experiment. But if it works, we'll see much, much more of the same around the world.
Durwood, thank you so much for your analysis. My guest, climate specialist Durwood Zaelke.